day, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Ball Breaker. We're going to unpack New Zealand versus South Africa. I must confess, I'm a bit disappointed. I thought it was going to be a more competitive match, especially with both of these teams being in the top four. But I'm sure we can all agree that we can contribute this to the injury crisis. I would say it was a mini crisis before the start of this match, but with Mark Henry bowling only 6 overs, going off the field with a hamstring injury, it's now, I can say, it's a full-blown crisis, especially with their captain Kane Williamson. We know the impact this guy have, the betting lineup, with his experience, So yeah, it's a pity for New Zealand, but let's unpack this match. As you can see, South Africa scored 357 for only loss of 4 wickets, and New Zealand was bowled out for merely 167 for 10. We could see at the end of New Zealand's innings, they were thinking already of the 4th place between themselves and Pakistan, trying to up the runs for the 10th wicket partnership, because they're thinking if they are level with Pakistan, it will come down to the net run rate will go through. But please comment below if you want us to make a video on all the different viewpoints. If Pakistan win New Zealand, if New Zealand win Pakistan, and the remaining matches, who's going to make it through to the top 4? So yeah, comment below, give us your viewpoints and your predictions. A bit later on, we'll speak about the predictions, but let's dive into this. Once again, Quinton de Kock, the informed batsman, not only of South Africa, but I think of the World Cup this year. Another 100, his 4th 100. Will he surpass Rohit Sharma's 500s that he scored in the previous World Cup? We'll just have to wait and see. There's a few matches left. There's playoffs, man. I think Quinton de Kock is going to surpass that. I think on a personal level, when he scored that 174 runs, which is the highest for the tournament, I thought he was going to go for the double 100 to be the first South African batsman to reach that. Unfortunately, he's retiring, so we only have about ±5 matches, if that is one of his targets. But once again, Quinton de Kock scoring 114 runs. But the wicket of the captain, who came into this World Cup in form, scoring a few hundreds, I really thought he was going to be the backbone of the batting lineup together with Quinton de Kock. He failed again, but let's support the man. He scored the hundreds for us when no one was informed. Let's support him. He went out again in his 20s in the 8th over with only 24 runs. But man, I love to see this left and the right hand combination of Rassie van der Dussen and Quinton de Kock again. When it matters against teams like India, against playoffs, it's just for the viewers that don't understand, if you have a left and a right hand combination, the fielding placements must change after each delivery. If left and right handers switch, the bowler must adjust, where he wants to put his ball down, the left, right. And it's not easy, but well, they are professionals, they're getting paid for it. So yeah, but nonetheless, the point is, it's good to see another 200 partnership between Rassie van der Dussen and Quinton de Kock. Rassie van der Dussen, at the end of the day, was man of the match, which finished clinical with 5 sixes, 9 fours. He had 133 runs. When Rassie and Quinton de Kock was in, there was about 10 overs left. And we all wonder, who is South Africa going to send in? Aiden Markham have been fantastic, breaking that world record for World Cups, scoring that 100, less than 50 balls. Klaasen is in form, and we know Miller is always in good touch when it comes to over 40 to 50. But yes, the management have decided to send in Miller. I think a good choice. At the end of the day, Miller scored 50. Unlucky but I would say a brilliant catch. He went out in the 49th over with Aiden Markram coming in, one ball left, and stepping over to his offside and hitting a six, finishing South Africa's innings with a total of 300 plus again, once again. I must say South African batsman is in good nick. I can say finally we had our choking period. We know South Africa never do good in World Cups, whether it's T20, whether it's 50 international overs, and they've been called the chokers. But like I said, I think we're over that phase after South Africa have lost to the Netherlands. I think they picked themselves up, and they're showing that they're here to not only to compete, but to win this championship. I think it's between them and India. I must also say Australia, after the first two losses, their batsman is hitting form, especially guys like David Warner and Glenn Maxwell, the finisher. I think that two guys is key. Like I said in my previous video, the middle order is not doing so well with Steve Smith. But I think it's the fact that he's a bit unhappy betting at number 4 and not at number 3. But yeah, it's one of those things. So yes, when it comes to the bowling of the first innings, there's no real bowler that stood up. Everyone was punished. The best economy rate was Trent Boult with 4.5. And yes, in terms of wickets, only 4 wickets New Zealand managed to take in this innings. So yeah, nothing that we can really speak about. Besides the fact that maybe it's the injury that I think of Matt Henry that could maybe made a difference. Only bowled 5.3 overs, and then the injury of their captain, and also Ferguson is also injured. We're going to go over to New Zealand's innings, and once again, man, Marco Jansen. I know when he was first selected, there was a lot of issues in the media. Is this guy too young? Must he first play local domestic cricket before he's put into the international team? But I think a good choice by the selectors of South Africa to give this young man a chance. He's transforming into a pure all-rounder, very good openings bowler, and once again, with a bat, he can finish. You've showed that in this tournament. When it comes to bowling, Lungi Ngidi and Marco Jansen open the bowling. Rabada didn't have good outings the last few games, didn't take a lot of wickets, but yesterday I think he showed his class with good pace bowling, 2 maidens, wicket to wicket, and he put really a lot of pressure on New Zealand's batsmen. I personally think that Rabada should open with Marco Jansen. It just we can just create more damage up front with that 2 bowlers up there. But I think Lungi Ngidi haven't done too bad. Only economy rate of 4.46. Maybe it's a strategy of the management or the coaching staff that there is a clutch bowler of his caliber. Nothing against Lungi Ngidi, but maybe they want the experience of Ngidi and Marco Jansen to bowl together, and Coetzee, that's also new into the setup, to bowl with Rabada. But if we look at the betting lineup for New Zealand, everyone was talking about Russian Ravindra that have scored so much for them in this World Cup. I think he scored 400 plus. He's in the top 10 batsmen in terms of runs for the World Cup. But brilliant bowling by Marco Jansen, caught by Coetzee to get him out for 9 runs. Openers Devon Conway and Will Young scored 2 runs and 33. Daryl Mitchell 24. Tom Latham, the captain, failing again with 4. Glenn Phillips was injured, had to go off, but he was sent on by management when 9 wickets was down. They wanted him to go and hit and push that rate I was talking about earlier on, because between Pakistan and New Zealand, they're going to fight for that fourth place. The way it's looking now, no other team is actually in contention for that number 4 spot. I think unlike previous World Cups where there's not a big difference in terms of quality and standard of batsmen and of teams. This year it's just 5 teams that stood up, disappointing England, I must say. But yeah, let's go back to the bowling for South Africa. Keshav Maharaj and Marco Jansen stood up here. Marco Jansen got the 3 wickets, and Keshav Maharaj finished off the innings getting 4 wickets. Got that last wicket of Trent Bolt, trying to go for a big one. So yeah, I think not a good test for South African bowlers, but once again, because they're so good, because they go in with a good game plan, they always have come on top. South Africa like defending, they like putting on a score. I must say I was surprised when New Zealand won the toss and elected to put South Africa in first. But New Zealand is a good team that chase, and I think they backed themselves in this instance. But like I said, South African bowling was just too good. Well, so the log have changed. South Africa's on top with 6